Aesop's fables tell a story of a tortoise and a hare who decide to race against each other. The hare is so confident of winning that he lies down halfway through the race and goes to sleep. The tortoise, knowing he must work hard to win, plods along steadily without stopping until he passes the sleeping hare and wins the race. There's an age-old adage that says, more haste, less speed. Success is the result of hard work, perseverance, and dedication. This approach is favored and rewarded across all aspects of life, from education, leadership, and performance management, to Wall Street and bankers, all looking for a steady track record of results. This mindset has become part of the lexicon of scientific management and translated into a single-minded drive towards increased organizational efficiency and effectiveness. Aesop was a slave and storyteller who lived in ancient Greece, somewhere between 620 and 560 BC. His fables have descended through the ages to modern times and been reinterpreted in both popular and artistic media. Over the years, various interpretations of the fable have evolved. In 1857, Charles Bennett, a Victorian illustrator and pioneering cartoonist, sketched a satirical image of the tortoise and the hare. In the image, the tortoise was depicted as a smug industrialist standing outside the Guildhall, too fat and arrogant to move, but holding the hare, who is depicted as a worker or an entrepreneur, holding him captive under his foot. In the true history of the tortoise and the hare, published under the name Lord Dunsey, prolific Irish writer Edward Plunkett suggests another story. In his interpretation of the fable, the hare, recognizing the stupidity of the challenge, pulls out of the race. His abdication means that the tortoise wins by default. When interviewed what his victory signifies, the tortoise says, "It is a glorious victory for the forces of swiftness." And all his followers say nothing else for years. According to Plunkett, the reason that this version of this race is not widely known is because very few of those that witnessed it survived the great forest fire that happened shortly after. It came over the world by night with a great wind. They hurriedly called a meeting to decide what messenger they should send to warn the beasts in the forest. They sent the tortoise. Until the 18th century, preachers, speechmakers, and Puritans mainly employed the fables. The philosopher John Locke, who was one of the most significant Enlightenment thinkers, influenced the evolution of these fables towards a younger audience. For him, Aesop's fables were apt to delight and entertain a child, yet afford useful reflection to a grown man. And if his memory retain them all his life after, he will not repent to find them there, amongst his manly thoughts and serious business. It is therefore not surprising that with the onset of the Industrial Revolution, vast numbers of fables were published. The masters of the Industrial Revolution approved of stories propagating hard work and perseverance within a framework of control, conformity, and compliance. The 3 C's of management. The tortoise and the hare, for all its sound advice, was a firm favorite. Leagues of industrialists would have hard workers believing risk is a bad thing and adherence to the 3 C's is rewarded. But what if, in a changing world, efficiency and effectiveness are no longer the bastions of competitive advantage. Like the backers of the Tortoise, who shouted, run hard, hard shell, hard living. That's what has it done. Are today's leaders making the same error, believing efficiency and effectiveness to be the best way? What if modern organizations need is more Hare and less Tortoise? As the CEO of industrial giant General Electric, Jeff Immelt, says, 10 or 20 years ago, what differentiated companies was how well managed they were. Today, if you're a well-managed company, you can still be a good company, but you're not going to be a dominant company. In my book, Quest, I show why global industrialized mindset of control, conformity and compliance, focusing incessantly on efficiency, effectiveness and risk aversion, now stunts growth and innovation and acts as the greatest obstacle to success in the future. I'm not saying that organizations do not need to be effective and efficient. Of course they do. But they no longer offer competitive advantage. What I'm saying is that it's time to release the hare, Bennett's cartoon version, or to inspire and convince the hare to engage in the challenge, which is Plunkett's version, whichever you prefer. In the 21st century, which has the potential to deliver so many wondrous advances, engaging people to deliver creative and disruptive innovation is going to be critical for success in gaining competitive advantage. And the best way to achieve this is through the power of a leader's quest.